Hiya! So another short video for you. What I'm going to do is make some altered paper clips. So these are some examples that I've used on the last two journal kits that I'm selling at the moment. So you can still see the paper clip on the back. There's another video I'm going to do with enclosed ones, but this is just an altered paper clip one. So I've done them in different shapes and sizes, but you can see that they've all, I really like this one, really cute. You can see the paper clip on the back of all of them. So if I just bring in one of the journals, you can see they look quite cute when they're clipped on, and obviously you can use them just as a decoration or to actually clip paper in, whichever you fancy. Let's pop those to one side. I'm going to use some shiny or smooth. So this is quite shiny, it's a bit like a photo paper actually. I've also used this, which is very smooth, which I find better because if you use that as the downside, it's going to slip and slide onto your paper a little bit more easily. So I'm just going to trim this down. I haven't planned this, so don't know what size or shape we're going for or what design, but I've got a few odds and ends next to me. What should we go for? Doesn't really matter, does it? Right, that's going to be the side that slides on. I'll probably have to use a small clip. So what I'm going to do is clip that. Which way shall I do it? Let's have the large side. No, I've done the same thing again. Oh my days, lockdown brain. Right, clip that over the top like that. So the shiny side is at the back and the larger side of the clip is at the back. So that's what's going to go on to, yeah. So shiny side should help. Now it's a case of, you can sandwich that in first and then decorate it, or you can go straight in with your decoration. What I'm actually going to do, slide that off a second, and I'm going to round the corners off. Oh, that didn't work, did it? So obviously you can do this by hand, but I've got a little tool that will do it. So just rounding off the corners, just to neaten it off slightly. Let's get that back on the right way. There we go. So I've got some odds and ends and some scraps from when I was doing the journals. This is from a postage stamp book. I've got some print-offs from my DVDs onto graph paper, and I've got some wording that I've been working on today for a new kit, and some scrappy bits of paper doily. So let's see what we can come up with. Right, probably should have got some glue out to start with as well. Let's see if this is bunged up. I'm not very well organised, am I? But hey, this is pretty much just how we work normally. Unblock that. If I've got a bit of a blockage in it, I'll use a different one. You can guarantee it's going to be blocked just because I want to use it on the video. Right, there we go. Good to go. So I think I'm going to cover the whole thing. Now, depending on what sort of paper you're using and how big your clip is, you might find, if I was to put a really thin paper on, you're going to get the line of the clip come through. So what you might want to do is use some of the thicker paper or card to sandwich it in to start with, or if you put it on with a glue gun, that might just slightly pad it out a little bit so you won't see it. So glue around like that. Stick that over the top. I'll trim off the excess in a second. So yeah, I can see it through slightly, but actually once I've built it up with a couple of embellishments, it might disguise it. So just trim that round. and I'm keeping the top of the clip pretty much concealed as well. What you could do is, if you have it raised up slightly, it almost creates a little hook on the top, so then if you wanted to put a tassel or tie some lace or ribbon, that sort of thing, that looks really cool as well. Just gonna pop a bit more ink on here. Just gonna ink around the edges slightly before we go any further. There we go. And let's tear out one of these. I said I don't have a plan for this. I'm just gonna, I think that's what a lot of us do actually, is, you know, I've got scraps and all sorts on my desk here from doing my journal, so nothing really goes to, or nothing should really go to waste, because, you know, you can use the tiniest of things on projects like this. And this actually is a good project to do, just to get rid of scraps. Let's go with a little bit of doily on the edge. So you can build this up as much or as little as you want, because like I said, you can use it purely as an embellishment or as a practical paper clip that just looks a little bit funky. You could put fabrics on here, lace, whatever you fancy. A bit more inking. Whenever I do this, I always use walnut stain. It's the Distress Ink walnut stain. Right, what should we go for now? Let's see what we've got on here. Let's just go with the first one I come to, and it's quite small, so it fits quite well. Ink the edges again. Pop that, where shall I pop that? Pop that down there. Actually, right, I want something with a little bit of colour in it. So what do I have? It's probably going to be a butterfly. Let's go with this tiny little red moth, I think it is. Again, this is some leftover sheets I had from my first journal kit, and I tend to put butterflies or flying creatures of some description on pretty much everything I do. So that one can go up there, and then I think we'll just leave it at that, because I think you get the idea. It's just a nice way of using up your little scraps. And obviously, you know, if you are using scraps from a journal that you've made, everything, let me bring that closer, see if it will focus. Not very well. There we go. Yeah, if you're using scraps from a journal that you've been making, then obviously it's all gonna tie in together. But yeah, things like this, I cut out the card and then you know, match the shape up basically with the toadstool, and then between the two layers I just trapped a little bit of sari yarn that I'd pulled off at the end, and that's just a really cool little clip. So yeah, any size or shape that you fancy, as decorative or not as you want, just a cool little embellishment really. So I'll do another video where I show you, let me just bring a couple of in to show you. I'll do it on a separate tutorial where I show you the enclosed paper clips. So these are like page markers, they slide over the end, and you've got no paper clip showing apart from the end loop, because I wanted to keep that out for putting tassels and things like that on. So we'll do that on a different one. Oh no, that's a different one. But yeah, so we'll show you those on another one. So nice quick little video for using up your scraps. See you soon.